Now, back to Miller on Sports, the show that puts pro in sports. Everything else is just talk.
Came out of about 10 minutes ago. Bill O'Brien, head coach at Penn State, receiving a 4-year contract extension. A little earlier today, his deal runs through 2020. Guess he's staying. Guess he's fine being at Penn State. 4-year contract extension for Bill O'Brien. We do it every Wednesday right here on Miller on Sports in 1600 The Beach at 520. We bring in Alan Verlander. He's the executive director of sports and entertainment for the City of Jacksonville. You can also find Alan on Twitter at Alan Verlander. How you doing, Alan?
Richard, I am good. I'm actually up here in Philadelphia getting ready for the Major League Soccer All-Star Game, and I'm going to go check it out and see what it's all about.
Now, are you a soccer fan?
I am a soccer fan. You know, my brother played soccer for years, so I spent a lot of time at the fields, and I didn't actually play, but I'm a big fan of it, and then obviously got the fever when we had the USA team here, it's been a couple of months ago now, and just kind of caught fever, and there's been a big movement, several people in the city that are really wanting us to look at an MLS team, and so I'm just trying to do a lot of research and development work for them.
So do you think Jacksonville could land a Major League Soccer team?
Well, I think it's something that really intrigues some potential investors. I think we'd have to do something with a facility. I don't know that they're going to want to play in Everbank Field just because Major League Soccer, if you look, on average draws about 16 to 18,000. So in Everbank, that would be pretty empty. So there's a long way to go on this, but a lot of the people involved with soccer and U.S. soccer will be here. So just making sure that we keep those ties and make sure we get another U.S. game here in a few years as well.
A conversation with Alan Verlander right here on 1600 The Beach and Miller on Sports. Have you had a chance to have a Philly cheesesteak?
No, have not.
No?
Have not. It's been just got up here a little while ago, and I used to come up here a lot when I was at JU. We had a lot of alumni up here, and so I've had my fair share of Philly cheesesteaks over the years, that's for sure.
Are you going to try and get one?
I'll probably get one before it's time to leave. I'm sure those are hard to. In Jacksonville, there's a couple places, but nothing like the Philly, the original, right?
No, that's very true. Talking to Alan Verlander, the executive director of sports and entertainment for the City of Jacksonville. You can find Alan on Twitter. It's at Alan Verlander. He's up in Philly for the MLS All-Star Game. Speaking of JU, Alan, were you at all involved in the new JU athletic director and his hire with Brad Edwards?
I was involved really early on, but as it started winding down the search, I kind of stepped away and made sure that I was there as a resource if they had any questions or the committee needed anything. I was there as a resource, but certainly, it was the committee's decision, and I think they made a great decision. I think Brad seems to bring an energy and a passion, and obviously has been a student athlete on the highest level, and so I've welcomed him, and I've already spoken to him. I spoke to him yesterday and told him I'll be there as a resource for him, anything that he needs from a city perspective or a former AD perspective. Certainly he's got my support.
Had you spoken to Brad before this week? Did y'all know one another?
We didn't. Had never met him face to face, and so really yesterday was the first time I had ever talked to him. And I called him. I guess he was on his way down here, but no, had not. But a lot of people in this industry, and it's a very close knit industry. A lot of people in this industry spoke very highly of him, and he was able to do a lot of neat things in South Carolina, and then in his tenure in Newberry, was able to do some very good things there at a smaller Division II school. So I think he'll be able to come to some really, really neat things with the program, and hopefully take it to a whole new level where maybe I wasn't able to do it.
We're talking with Alan Verlander, a former JU athletic director, now executive director of sports and entertainment for the City of Jacksonville. He's up in Philly. We talk every Wednesday at 5:20. Alan, I've had a lot of guests on this week, and I've been telling my listeners to go to Twitter and Facebook and also email me because I want to know what their favorite Summer Olympic sport is. Do you have a favorite?
Oh, by far, my favorite, I think, is swimming. It's hard to beat swimming, and having been up in Omaha about a month ago at the swimming trials now, swimming is definitely one of those sports that I love to watch on TV, and I'm a little disappointed because I'm a big baseball guy. I'm disappointed that baseball is not in the Olympics. I used to love to watch that, but swimming definitely is the thing that piques my interest.
Who's your baseball team?
I've always grown up a big Dodgers fan. I've back when the days of Lasorda and Steve Garvey and all that crew, always been a big Dodgers fan. But, with Chipper Jones and I playing high school together and having been now friends for about 25 years, I'm a big Braves fan and try to watch him, especially this being his last year.
Were you excited with Hanley Ramirez going to L.A.?
I was, I was. We need some help down the stretch, and I think it's funny because everybody says, "Well, did you ever spend time out in L.A.?" And I'm like, "No, I just kind of adopted him as a young boy." And remember my mom saying, "You need to go to bed." And I'm like, "Well, hold on just a second. Kirk Gibson's about to come up, and we'll see if anything happens." And remember that moment, like I'm sitting here today. So just has always been a kind of bleed blue kind of guy.
Yeah, that's very cool. Alan Verlander right here on Miller on Sports and 1600 The Beach. You can listen online to the conversation at 1600thebeach.com. Also, Alan, I've been getting everybody's Summer Olympic memory. What's your favorite Summer Olympic memory?
Ooh, my favorite Summer Olympic memory is actually probably something different. My grandfather and grandmother in '84, when it was in Los Angeles, I think my grandfather, one of his good friends, was one of the top guys in NBC, so they took him out there, and he brought me back a lot of the garb that the the Olympic athletes actually wore. So the actual T-shirt and jackets and all that, he actually brought me back. So that's probably, even though I didn't watch it on TV, but that's probably been my most favorite Olympic, and I still have some of that stuff to this day.
Is that framed up on the wall? I mean, that better be protected.
It's protected, yeah, but
okay.
I definitely don't. I definitely don't have it framed or anything like that.
You don't wear it around or anything to the office?
No, don't do anything like that. You got to keep that stuff under lock and barrel.
Alan, what else have you been working on with the City of Jacksonville for either sports or entertainment?
Yeah, we've got obviously we've been working on this Navy Marine Corps Classic. That's taken up a lot of our time, and we're finally able to get the carrier that the game is going to be played on, and so we're working on that very heavily. It's a heavy operational deal, as I know you know. And then, just trying to really get out there. Florida, Georgia, and all of that has definitely kicked off. And just trying to understand, really, I've spent the last a couple of weeks just trying to understand the entertainment side. I know the sports side pretty well, but, I've heard from a lot of people in the city, we want more concerts. We want more entertainment events. So really trying to understand that market and talking to concert promoters and event promoters. And we're really looking at one event we're trying to do is a big barbecue kickoff, and so we've been talking to a lot of the key barbecue people across the country and create that with a country music festival downtown, doing something like that. So really a lot of different things, and just making sure that we make Jacksonville sports and entertainment venue for people to come from all over the world.
Now, Alan, I'm sure you can't talk too much about it, but is there any update on SMG and Global Spectrum?
Yeah, there's not, and I really haven't been, I haven't been that involved with it, and so, I know that there's SMG has filed a public protest that will be in a hearing I guess on the 16th of August. Other than that, I really don't know a whole lot that's being taken place, and I don't think anything can really move much until that happens. So, we're getting excited about the Jaguar game, and know that on August 10th, SMG will be our partner to get that game going, and past that, I'll kind of let the powers that be to make those big decisions.
Absolutely. Which player do you have in mind in rooting on tonight? Do you have somebody picked out?
My player that I will look for is Landon Donovan, just because I got to see him and speak with him and spend some time with him when he was down here for the game. And so, not that I'll get to see him tonight, but I got to root for him. At least I got to tie with him, and so it'll be fun just to watch soccer played at the highest level tonight.
Definitely. He's Jacksonville's Executive Director of Sports and Entertainment. Alan Verlander joins us every Wednesday at 5:20. Follow him on Twitter at Alan Verlander. Alan, it's always a pleasure. Enjoy the game tonight.
Richard, thanks for the time, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good. Alan joining us every Wednesday at 5:20. We'll talk some Jacksonville Sharks coming back. Stay tuned.